Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about anxiety and confidence. It may sound like a bit of a contradiction, like how can you have anxiety and be confident? But it is possible, and in this video we're going to go through some tips that can hopefully help you, tips that I've used in my life that have helped me, and let's just get on into it. Confidence comes from within. And anxiety is usually triggered by some kind of fearful thought or a situation where you feel that you haven't got control. Now, having anxiety doesn't necessarily mean that you can't be confident. It just means that usually in that moment of anxiety or anxiousness, you feel vulnerable. And obviously, feeling vulnerable and feeling confident, you can't be both at the same time. But these are some ways that hopefully will help you to be able to invoke a bit of confidence within yourself. Tip number one is dress how you feel comfortably. How you look, as annoying as it sounds, does influence how you feel. Now that doesn't mean you need to overdress or do your hair, do your makeup. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is find your style. Find what you like the most. For me, ironically, is flannel shirts. I had an award ceremony at university and I was dreading it. I was dreading going in there and being stuck with a bunch of people I don't know. So I wore a red flannel shirt. Now, to other people I looked a bit ridiculous, because there was another girl there and she was dressed up and a lot of people were in suits. There was no memo about attire, so maybe in hindsight I should have done it differently, but I picked an outfit that I felt good in. And I did. It made things easier for me. I also think jumper dresses are great because they're comfortable and you can dress them up, dress them down, whatever. But find your style, what you're comfortable wearing, and go with that. Doesn't matter what other people think as long as you're happy in it. When I used to wear big hoodies and stuff, I didn't feel great about myself, and that made me feel vulnerable and closed off. So I changed it up a bit more grungy, and that made me feel better. I had the pair of boots that I basically lived in. They were combat style boots. So pick what you like and go with that. Secondly is having a playlist in mind. Great thing about Spotify is you can compile whatever songs you want. I think listening to music before you have to go somewhere, it kind of motivates you as such. So listen to a certain playlist when you're getting ready or when you're traveling somewhere. Again, I would listen to 21 Pilots, Arctic Monkeys, Catfish and the Bottlemen. Those kinds of artists would make me feel better. I felt good listening to their music. So find songs that you like that make you feel good and listen to them every day if you have to. That's something that's not really describable when it comes to music, but music usually does make you feel better. You just have to find which type of music makes you feel better. For some it might be classical music and trying to relax. Others it might be heavy metal that makes you just feel like ready to tackle everything. The other thing, which is a bit of a crutch and might not be great, but is having your phone with you. It's nice not feeling lost. So if you're going somewhere where you don't feel comfortable, so for me it was university, I would always have my phone in my hand. And it was ridiculous, but it meant I could call somebody if I need to, I could text somebody, message somebody, whatever. And as I said, it's a crutch, it's not ideal, but you do feel better because there's a world outside of that situation. That's what it reminded me of. It's not that I'm trying to just disappear or look cool or whatever kind of thing you might assume. But for me, it was a reminder that I have people away from this situation that I can count on. I have somewhere else where I do feel okay, and that's all that matters. This unpleasant situation is just a moment in time and it will be over soon enough. Another great thing is to repeat daily affirmations. positive affirmations. It's something I post on my Instagram every Monday, really. I try to do something a little bit inspirational every day, but Mondays are like affirmation days. So you find a saying, a quote, whatever, and you repeat it to yourself. A great tip I read in a book was to leave sticky notes with affirmations around the house. So as you're going through your morning routine, you read them. So you remind yourself of your strengths. You remind yourself that things are okay, that you are able to do things. And it won't work straight away. That's fine, but it does help. Positive thinking does help. So confidence comes from within, really. You have those exterior things like I mentioned, but actually it's about talking to yourself and reassuring yourself that you're okay. You're good at what you're doing, you know what you're doing. There's not a problem. The final tip that I have for today for internal self-confidence is practice. It comes with time, right? The more reserved you are, the more time you spend at home, away from people, the less confident you'll feel. But the more you challenge yourself, the more confident you become, the more motivated you become. So that is something I would implore you to do, is to challenge yourself. Talk to people. If you need to make a phone appointment, do it. Call. Don't get somebody else to do it for you. Don't try and cop out by going online, which is something I do a lot. It's fine. But try and challenge yourself, because the more you do it, the more confident you will feel. You will feel able to do those things. And suddenly, 10 phone calls from now, you won't even realise why you're worried about ringing somebody up in the first place. That's what I experienced at work. I hated calling customers. It was something that just I really didn't enjoy. Now, now, because of the whole pandemic thing again, it's similar because most people are working from home, but pre-pandemic, I didn't actually have a problem with it. It becomes easier, but it does take practice. You need to keep repeating something in order to feel comfortable. To have self-confidence, you need to keep challenging those fears. That doesn't mean pushing yourself to breaking point, of course, but it means just taking time, at least once a week, to do something that you don't feel comfortable with, and basically expanding that comfort zone. If your comfort zone is like filled with 5 things, you want to be able to do 50 things, but you only do that by pushing yourself out of the comfort zone. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful and that you've taken away some tips that are useful. Let me know in the comments any other tips you have or your experience with self-confidence and anxiety. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.